prayed to Tata and Ava to improve my confidence while playing my games. I could see in the next tournaments I play, playing much more confidently, and I won the tournaments I played. Thanks to Tata and Ava. In 2015 December, I attended Vidyavama and I prayed there in Satyaloka to achieve my international master title within a year. International master title requires 3 international master level performance and a ELO rating of 2400. And at that time I was just 2000 rating, so it was long gap to be filled. But within 6 months, by the May 2016, I became international master. Thanks to Tata and Ava. Once again, billion thanks to Tata and Ava for blessing me with all the success. Pada pranams to Sri Bhagavan.
When both of you win the world championship title, both of you would be the first siblings in the history of chess to have won the championship. All the blessings to you. Love you so much.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Bhagavan, may I begin with the questions, Bhagavan?
Yes.
Thank you, Bhagavan. First question, Bhagavan. Dear Sri Bhagavan, what is there before and end of the universe?
Please repeat the question.
What is there before and end of the universe?
The question should actually be, what is at the beginning and at the end of all universes? Because there is not just a single universe. There are billions of universes. Every day, every moment, a universe is being born and then grows and then dies. It's happening every moment. It's billions of universes. It's not just one universe. The universe in which we are living is just one universe. There are billions of universes being born every moment and dying every moment. So there's never a time when there's no universe. If we can talk in terms of a particular universe, we can talk of the beginning and the end. But there are billions of universes. So all the time there is some universe, either beginning, taking birth, or dying, or midway. So at any given point of time, there are always universes. That's the first thing. Then, of course, the universe is born and then it dies. Now, what was there before it was born? It was a universe which died and took birth. And what happens when it dies? It dies and takes birth. That's all. There's birth and death, it goes on for a single universe. And at any given point, there are billions of universes. And you cannot think of that in terms of space or time. That would make no sense at all. The sheer size, billions of universes being born and dying every moment, space and time would lose all sense. However, if you are a great mystic, you could have some kind of experience of that, from which we are talking. So if you have a powerful Antaryaman, you could have a look at it.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dearest Sri Bhagavan, who or what is God?
This question has been asked several times, and I have answered it depending on various levels. So now, you know you have a conscious mind, and you also know there's a subconscious, and then there is the unconscious. Then there is the collective unconscious, and then there is the collective conscious, and then there is the supraconscious, which we call Paranjyoti. And besides all this, there is also what we call UI, Universal Intelligence, which contains all the Akashic records and which enforces all the karmic laws. Now, taken individually, all these things are omnipresent and omniscient. The collective unconscious is omnipresent, omniscient, but not omnipotent. The collective conscious is also omnipresent, omniscient, but not omnipotent. Then there is the supraconscious, which is Paranjyoti, omnipresent, omniscient, but not omnipotent. UI, omnipresent, omniscient, but not omnipotent. So taken individually, none of them would fit your bill of what you define as God. Every faith defines God in its own way, but none of these would fit that description individually. Let us take them collectively. If they do function as a whole, even then it would not answer or fit into your idea of God given to you by the various religions. It won't fit in. We can also deal with them only individually. Now, the thing is there anything beyond all this? And if we were to call that God, it is something which is beyond all this. And if we were to call that God, that is the unknown and the unknowable. If anybody says, I know God is fooling you, or is fooling himself, could be a genuine person, but he has fooled himself. God is the unknown and the unknowable. Now, why is it so? Why is God the unknown and the unknowable? You could try a guess. So, God is the unknown and the unknowable just because you are God. Now, the eye which sees cannot see itself. That's very simple. The finger which points out cannot point at itself. You being God, God would always be the unknown and the unknowable. But what is important is not all this kind of knowledge. It has to be experientially verified, which is possible. But the most important is, are you filled with that ananda? The ananda level goes up and up and up. You're not talking about the great levels. You're talking about simple things. Similarly, that love do you have? That you love the whole thing. Everything. Do you have love for that? Causeless love. And do you have gratitude? Do you experience that oneness? All this is what is important. Not debating on who is God or what is God.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Padapranams dear Shri Bhagavan. Who runs the universe?
Yes. The UI runs the universe. So first of all, you must understand the universe is a living thing. Not just this universe, but all universes are living things. They are conscious and they have tremendous intelligence, which we call UI. So UI, universal intelligence, runs the universe. Now let us say the universe is very, very, very unimaginably big. Now in some galaxy, where in some particular solar system, on a particular planet, in some distant forest, on a leaf, an ant is crawling. That is recorded from moment to moment by UI. That movement of that ant on that leaf, what the ant experiences, feels, or thinks, what moves it makes, is recorded nanosecond by nanosecond by UI. That's how UI knows all of your history, all of your past lives, everything it knows. That's why we can play back left, right, and center. For example, one gentleman had a particular knee pain, nothing would work on him. So then we decided to show him his past lives. How do we show? We connect to the UI and ask UI to show the past lives. Of course, we use the Antaryaman to get to UI and to see the past lives. So it was from where this pain is coming. Then it was found that he was fighting in the Second World War, where he fell down and hurt his knee. When he was made to relive that moment, which took a few minutes, after reliving that moment of the fall, the Second World War, his knee pain vanished because it was coming from there. So why we could do that? Because all the records are with UI. UI only contains all those Akashic records. So we could go back into the past and see all our ancient temples, how they were, what was Ayodhya at that time, can be seen very clearly. You could go back to what China was thousands of years ago, what Egypt was thousands of years ago, what Rome was thousands of years ago, what America was thousands of years ago. All that can be fully re-experienced. You can see our temples as they were thousands of years ago. You can smell the camphor. You can see the priest doing the arti thousands of years ago. See that. And if you do it very powerfully, as it gives the prasadam or the kumkum, you could receive it. And when you wake up, it's there still. So this is what the universe is. It's very, very different from what you think it is. You have a totally wrong idea about the universe. So also your scientists. They have no idea at all. They have an idea, just a funny idea. There's nothing to do with what actually is there. Then all your science would collapse. But you need that science for at this level of your consciousness for doing all these things. But then what is out there is totally different. But remember, the universe is being run by UI according to certain laws, karmic laws when it comes to your life. And who put the laws there? We put those laws there. Humans have put their laws there. They have become karmic laws. And if all of us agree, then we could do certain rituals and we could change the laws in the UI. But the best thing is not to tamper with those things. So the karmic laws are implemented by UI. If you hurt somebody in some past life, the records are still not closed, you will have it now. Now means now or the next birth, you will have it.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Lord, what is the difference between Ekam and Kalki Dharma?
Human beings, at least there are 22 varieties of human beings. Very distinct types of beings are there. Minimum is 22. Now, each of them needs a particular path. A path which suits someone may not suit the other because they are different. People are different. So we need many paths. That's why we have many faiths, many religions, many techniques, many paths are there. So you must choose what suits you because that only would deliver the goods to you. Now, this work is concerned about humanity and of helping people. So here we have two parts. One is Ekam, one is Kalki Dharma or Paranjyoti Dharma. Now, this Paranjyoti Dharma is Amma Bhagavan centric. The people who are not able to relate to Amma Bhagavan or to Paranjyoti, they are not able to relate to it. So you cannot blame them for that. It is so. Many factors are gone into it, and they are not able to trust Amma Bhagavan or have faith in Amma Bhagavan, and they don't have a bond with Amma Bhagavan. So all these things are there. Whereas in Ekam, such a faith is not demanded of you. You don't have to believe in Amma Bhagavan or Paranjyoti. But that freedom is there. Whereas here, the results are delivered effectively if you have faith and trust. No faith and no trust, then the results do not get delivered so quickly, even though you might still get. To put it in a nutshell, Ekam, you can say, is Jnana Marga and Sadhana Marga. You have to do sadhanas. And it is Jnana Marga. And it's very representative of, I would say, Jnandev, the Maharashtrian saint. And then you have Kalki Dharma or Paranjoti Dharma, which is more Bhakti Marga. It depends on your Bhakti. And then on state transfer, this is all about simply giving you the state. The state is transferred to you. Where the states are there, progressively they'll be transferred to you. There, the thing is, you have to work. You have to do sadhana. Of course, some amount of transfer is involved, but then essentially, you have to work for it. It's more like Buddhism. You have to work for it. This is working for it. This is you receive the gift. If you are ready, you receive the gift. And you can say this represents Namdev. Now the story is, I don't know the full story exactly, with Namdev and Jnandev, they were both going on a pilgrimage. They were supposed to have gone through some desert, I think if I pronounce the name correctly, I think Marwar or some place in Rajasthan possibly. And they both became thirsty. And there was a well there. So both went to the well. The water was very deep. So Namdev said, I will, not Namdev, Jnandev said, I'll use my powers. I forget the name of the particular power. So it's a siddhi. I will become a bird, go down to the well, and I'll bring the water for both of us to quench our thirst. So said Jnandev. He was using his head and his skills, that particular yoga I forget. I'll use that, whereby I can become a bird and fly down to the bottom of the well and get the water from there for both of us. Namdev was a bhakta, and whom Jnandev used to be admiring all the time. He simply chanted, I think, the mantra of Rukmini Devi, I think, and then the water in the well rose up, and both of them drank. So that was the difference between Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga. So for such of those who prefer Jnana Marga, use their head, think, and do something like Jnandev, for them Ekam is best. For those who do not want to use the head so much and don't have the time nor the inclination to do sadhana, I would say the Namdev model is best. Simply chant, get the bond, and have the job done. The choice is yours. You can either follow that, or you could follow this, or you could follow both. But at some point of your growth, if you want to grow further, you must follow one path, not two paths. In the initial phases, you can straight away you can follow only one path, or you can follow both paths. But beyond the point, if you want to grow in that or grow in this, you must make your choice. Follow only one path.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Padapranams, my dear Bhagavan. Who am I?
Well, this question has been asked me several times, and I give no different answers depending on the context and at what level I think it could be. Now, I'll go at this level now. So, you are there. You are run by 10 programs. Straight away 10 programs control you. And then we have the charges and the traumas. The two are different. We have a lot of charges and a lot of traumas, which also include what we call the FCDs, or the fundamental childhood decisions. All this control your life. In addition to this, you have your culture, whether you are a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, and if you are a Hindu, whether you are an Advaitin or you are a Dvaitin or a Visishta Advaitin, so many factors are there. and whether you're a vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Such varieties there. Your culture. What is the culture you are born with? What is the culture you grew in? What is the culture that influenced you? All this comes in. All this could be called conditioning. Each one of you is conditioned differently. No two people are the same. Just like your fingerprint is not the same, the center of your eye is not the same. Similarly, each of your conditioning is different. Now, that's why you need different paths also. Then, but somebody must operate this conditioning. And who is operating it? Yourself is operating it. Each of you has a self. The self is operating this conditioning.
Hey, Utkarsh, Yashraj.
How does it operate?
Come here, both of you.
It operates through what we call
Come here.
your inner dialogue.
Yashraj. Come
Your
here.
inner dialogue is what creates your life. If the inner dialogue
Yashraj.
is positive, on the positive. If the inner dialogue is negative,
Utkarsh.
life on the whole is negative. Similarly, some elements are positive, some things are positive in your life. Some elements are negative, negative things happen in your life. The conditioning is responsible, which contains all these things, and which is operated by yourself.
Ensepu.
How you behave depends on yourself. How you talk depends on yourself. How you write depends on yourself. Your conditioning and yourself create all these things. Now, what are we doing? When you come to the various programs, including the havans, everything, we're going on changing that inner dialogue. Sometimes we do it very slowly, sometimes we do it abruptly, depending on the overall context. Helped by UI, we are doing those changes
Utkarsh.
in that inner dialogue. Inner dialogue changes, you change. Inner dialogue, you're a beggar, you will be a beggar. Change the inner dialogue to prosperity, you become prosperous. Inner dialogue is not okay, you become unhealthy. Change the inner dialogue, you acquire very good health. Everything is controlled by the inner dialogue. So all that we are doing, whether it is a bhajan or a puja or a havan or a state transfer, we are trying to change that inner dialogue. Inner dialogue changes, you change. You become a different human being. You can produce transformation. You can produce, make you more awakened. You make you more conscious. So all this is done by changing the inner dialogue. So who are you? You are your inner dialogue.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Shri Bhagavan, what has Shri Bhagavan to say about the calamities?
Yes, the good news is the big calamity will happen at the beginning of the next century. That does not mean humanity would survive until that time. But the big calamity is whether humanity is going to be there on the planet or not. That would happen at the beginning of the next century. What's going to happen now is a lot of minor calamities. A lot of calamities are going to happen, minor calamities. We are making people go through it. We do not want to make any announcements. People across the globe, especially those who are very good mystics, are going through it. And we have now been able to decodify how to get the date and the month. We have come thus far now. So we have a lot of things where we have got the records of the day and the month and mostly the place where it's going to happen. But in order not to create any public panic, there will be no official statement from our side. But the records would be with us. And maybe after it happens, anything to say, we will say. But we would remain officially silent on that. Maybe for some people, we will tell them. But officially, we will be silent. But individually, people, their Antarayaman could warn them. Tell them in which place, in case they are connected with that, what month, what day it's going to happen. And also give them guidelines how to escape or prepare them for death. All that is the work of the Antarayaman. So we, as an organization, as a movement, will not make any comments on the calamities. Because that would create unnecessary panic. Though we do know, we would not make any comments on it. Because we would not be able to save you. Only the Antaryamana is going to save you. Therefore, we will just keep quiet and we will be doing silently our best to reduce these calamities, to reduce the size of the calamities, and to be silently helping the people. All that we will do. But nothing would be done publicly.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Father Prams, my dear Sri Bhagavan, what is the significance of the Paranjyoti lamp?
It's very important for you to become aware Paranjyoti has come. So Paranjyoti is technically everywhere. It need not become powerful, need not actually manifest itself at a particular point, need not. The lamp is an indication. There's a change in the lamp. If you can see the Paranjyoti in the lamp, it means Paranjyoti has come. And you could start your prayers, your requests, or whatever you want, depending on your bond. So, to make it convenient for people, this has been chosen by the Paranjyoti. That is why Ramalinga said, please light your lamps at your home. Because from now on, Paranjyoti would come to you through the lamp. So that is what our work and Ramalinga's work are very closely linked. So we are waiting for a particular time when we began to ask people to go for the lamp. As the lamp changes, mostly you'll be able to see the Paranjyoti entering it. And if it's big, it will come in a big way. If it's very small, it's small, but it will be perceptibly there, the Paranjyoti, the light. So at that time you must start your prayer either for Iham or for Param, because it has come in. And for the Soma was for it to actually change. So it is for practical purposes to help you that you introduce the Paranjyoti lamp as wanted by Paranjyoti. It is not our decision. As Paranjyoti wanted, we did it, but it's going to happen was announced by Ramalinga Swami long time ago.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Sri Bhagavan, could Sri Bhagavan tell us more about the Dikshas launched online from Satyaloka?
Yes, as of now, we are giving 3 Dikshas, the Monday one for Arogya Diksha, and the Wednesday one for the brain, because you have to face the coming challenges. There will be a lot of problems, economic problems, which will surface step by step. So you have to survive. You have to have enough money. You have to survive. You may have to start your own businesses, start your own things, even to survive in what you have. You may need some ideas, some breakthrough ideas. All this is required. To put it shortly, you require more brain power. So Wednesday is for augmenting your brain power. And also, finally, it must become money. So for that, it will be a Friday. And on that day, the puja that is being done, Satyaloka is a very powerful place where a special Srimurti is there, from which it is done. And this is being done as wanted by that Sapitrastra Bhagavan. Sapitrastra Bhagavan himself spoke, very clear, appeared and physically and spoke, do this. This is the way I want to help people. So what he has said, we are doing. Not that we have designed anything, not at all. His house in a special way in Satyaloka, which many of you would have seen. So he wanted that. And what he wanted, we are doing. So we have no other reasons to give. What, like Paranjyoti, we cannot say, why you are coming in the light? Paranjyoti wanted to come in the light. So we said, do it. Kapila Bhagavan said, do it this way, I want to function like this. You've done it. Why so? We have no idea.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Sri Bhagavan, we find that the Srimurti of Shyama Bhagavan is being gradually withdrawn and replaced by the Srimati of Paranjyoti. What is the reason?
You see, this dharma is global. I don't think there's any country where this dharma is not there. Maybe at least 5 people will be there in some country. It's everywhere. Outside of India, it's mostly people of other faiths. Christians. In Central Asia, it's mostly Muslims are our followers. In Turkey, we have our following, Muslims. And recently, when Japan had this earthquake, it was the Turkish contingent of our Dharma which did all the work to help the Japanese people. Other countries were not so cooperative. They said, oh, it's not for our country, no? That was the attitude. Very surprising it was. But the Turkish people said, we will help. And they did what we asked them to do. The reason was they had their own earthquake. Having had their own earthquake, they were keen and eager to help. So we could make so that, and we could stop the tsunami. Otherwise, the tsunami would have been very devastating. Though, of course, we have been locally acknowledged, but the media is not acknowledged. As usual, the media won't acknowledge. It cannot acknowledge also. So, now we have Muslims. Then we have Christians. So all of them worship us as God. Now it's very difficult for them to worship like that because some of their faiths do not allow a form. They cannot worship a form. The Jews cannot worship a form. The Muslims cannot worship a form. And Christians are very stuck with Christ. They can't move away from that form. Though, of course, we can change form also. And among the Hindus, because we are living, they are not able to accept us. And even many Hindus are not able to accept the human form. Oh, he's an Indian, they might say. Here it is, oh, he's Indian, South Indian, and he's Telugu speaking. So all these kinds of comments and remarks. So very difficult for people to move ahead. Oh, they eat food. How could they eat food? So we want to remove all these difficulties. Difficulties for the people. So we have decided to move back to our original form. The original form, the great compassionate light. That is our form. So we want to go back to that form, not abruptly, steadily, slowly we are changing the form. So in many Srimurtis, we appear as Paranjyoti, we appear on the Srimurti. And of course, we also come into the lamp as sometimes in our form, but in the lamp, we go to the what we call the formless form. And we are becoming more and more now. And also sometimes when I do give this Momentum class discourse, was some people in their homes, I become a light being. So we are changing that. And of course, in some cases, the Srimurti is permanently changing to the right form. In many cases, the form appears and sometimes goes away to the old form. But now, it's permanently changed. The form is changed. The photograph completely changes to light. So little by little, causing little discomfort for you, slowly we will change this form into the light form. Then we being an Indian is gone, we being a Hindu is gone, we being a South Indian is gone, or Telugu speaking is gone, that is going, this. All this thing is completely gone. So there's much less resistance from you, which means much more power from outside. So as you resist, it's difficult to help you. But if you do not resist, it's easy to help you. But if it's only going to be straight away the right form, then also the bond will not come. We have been around for some years. So even if we disappear, you know that when you leave the planet or when you do not appear to you, you still know that we were there. We were there like humans, we were there like you, living like you. You know all that. So that will create a bond. So that's one reason why we have to go through the form. But slowly we can remove the form, and that's being done.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Shri Bhagavan, how are the 81,000 special?
You see, nature always uses numbers. For example, if there are 33,000 birds, the next one would be a twin. 33,000 twins, the next one would be a triplet. 33,000 triplets, the next one would be a quadruplet. At some point it stops. So, now nature runs on numbers. Similarly, if you take a pumpkin, if you count the number of lines on the surface of the pumpkin into a particular number, would give you the number of seeds inside the pumpkin. So there are many, many such numbers which talk about the universe, including the galaxies, the stars, everything controlled by numbers. That is the way UI functions. So here, the point is 0.0001. That is the point. So humanity is one whole. It's just one group actually. Though we think we are Americans, we are Russians, Chinese, we are all actually one group. Related actually. Now, 0.301% of that number, if its level of consciousness grows, let's say by 100%, let's say by 50%, the others would go by 5%. Let's say this 0.0001% grow by 100%, the rest would grow by at least 10%. Where consciousness is involved, as this number grows, the others would be growing that much. Not as much as this, but more than what they are. So if we want to, the whole universe is working towards raising the levels of consciousness. So of course, as we go on, the next species to come would be at a very high level of consciousness. Maybe 1,000 years, maybe 1,500 years. You're not exactly able to place it, but it would be like that. Very high levels of consciousness. Already some beings have arrived. They are there in the Himalayas, they are there in the southern mountains. So they don't eat food. No food is required for them. And at best they eat a few leaves, that's all. And they are neither male nor female. And they're just flying around. For transport, they just move around from this hill to that hill. They fly around. Some of our devotees have witnessed this. And some videos have also come to us, but they have told us to keep quiet for some time. Later on, we could show those things. They do some puja and then they just disappear. So, no food is required. No need for the opposite sex to be there. That's gone. Even if they do want to travel, they just fly around. And they are in extraordinary levels of consciousness. So, now, these people are the forerunners. Those I'm talking about are the forerunners. That's how we are going to become. All humans will become. If we survive, definitely we will survive. But this has been happening all the time. Every few thousand years there will be a calamity. Basically the earth warming up or the earth cooling down. Either way, it leads to a reduction in population. Always some numbers do survive. Not all perish. Sometimes those on the hilly regions, they will survive. And some knowledge is left behind. Some of them do have that knowledge of the past. And a new civilization is started. In roughly, let us say, if we have 10,000 people left, which is quite easy, in about 5,000 years, we can reach the present level of population. About 8.1 billion, we can reach in about 5,000 years. It's not a big thing at all. And to grow to a technologically advanced civilization like us, it leads less than 1,000 years. Less than 1,000 years, almost starting from zero, but with some knowledge of the past, we can reach this level of civilization. So civilizations keep rising and collapsing, rising and collapsing. That's why when we dig up sometimes 30,000 years ago, 40,000 years ago, we get very advanced tools, got from previous destructions. So destruction is a normal thing. And always something is behind. But on the whole, we are moving towards a higher level of consciousness. So the next one would be a new species, possibly. Even earlier times, we had different species, they are all gone. So this time, we would be gone, or just we would be evolving to another species. So that's what would be happening. What was the question, Arvind?
81,000 special, Bhagwan. How are the 81,000 special?
So these 81,000 are always required to maintain a higher level of consciousness. So you people who are the 81,000, you are a special group of people. Now that depends on the population. We have not reached the number 81,000, but we'll reach someday. Given this population, that is the number. Suppose this population grows, this number also will grow. Suppose this population declines, this number also will decline. Automatically decline. That is, we will not be able to produce more people like you people. As we raise your consciousness levels quite soon, there will be those whom we cannot raise them beyond a point. But you can help them to grow a little bit. That's all. But not to your level. It's not possible. That's why in Christianity they say, many are called, few are chosen. So you belong to that chosen group. So you would grow, but it will be your role, your job, your dharma to raise their levels. That you have to take care of. That you have to do. But your number will be changing depending on the population. Beyond that number, we cannot cross. Like the number of seeds of the stripes of the pumpkin, into that number will give the seeds in the pumpkin. You can't exceed that. Or you won't go below that also, after a point. Similarly here, you will not be able to increase this 81,000. It could, of course, may go down for some reason a little bit, but then the numbers are kind of a constant. Once you reach there, it would be a constant. You are those special people, and it's your role to raise the level of consciousness of humanity by transferring the state. It will become very, very powerful, tremendously powerful, that it will be in your hands, in your power, to raise others to that higher level of consciousness. So thus you'll be working with the universe. That's why you are special.
Thank you, Bhagwan. Next question, Bhagwan. Dear Shri Bhagwan, how does rescripting work in Navagraha Homa? We also participated last year. How this year is different from last year's?
You see, what is this whole universe? It is nothing but a vibration, that's all. Now, what is the chanting? More than the content, what is important is the way it is chanted and to whom it is chanted. It's a vibration. Now, what are we doing? We are using the fire. The fire has certain peculiar properties where it could carry these vibrations. And then what are we trying to achieve here? Through these vibrations and through the fire, we are trying to change your inner dialogue. The inner dialogue, as it consistently changed, we say it is rescripting. So, in one blow, we cannot do it. Too much power cannot be used because you won't go back home. So, step by step, slowly, but you can also go and accommodate yourself with the outside world. We are increasing it. So, as you change this inner script, everything about your life will change. We are aiming at both Iham and Param. Everything would change, but after a point, it will be faster. After a point, it will accelerate. After a point, it's like the rocket which escapes the Earth's gravity. It will be that fast. But now, we are still not reached that peak speed. We're still lower than that. But
అప్పటి నుంచి 7 to 7:30 పప్ప ఇది
Scripting. So, in one blow, we cannot do it. Too much power cannot be used because you won't go back home. So, step by step, slowly, but you can also go and accommodate yourself with the outside world. We are increasing it. So, as you change this inner script, everything about your life will change. We are aiming at both Iham and Param. Everything would change, but after a point, it will be faster. After a point, it will accelerate. After a point, it's like the rocket which escapes the Earth's gravity.
రావాలా
It will be that fast. But now, we are still not reached that peak speed. We're still lower than that. But with everything, we'll be increasing it. We'll be making it more and more powerful. So that is what we are doing.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Shri Bhagavan, is the effect of prayer different in different places?
Yes, it is different in different places. You have to see how the grid lines are moving and what is the samskaras of that place. All that must be taken into account, and the power is different. For example, if you take Ekam, it is sitting on special grid lines. Besides, what is exactly below Ekam is a Shiva temple. A very old Shiva temple is there. So, on top of the Shiva temple that is built, and then that's why it's specially meant for Mukti. And then it's called Bhaktula Vallam in Telugu, which means there was a time when there were thousands of people flocking to that place. And we're doing havans at that time, a long time ago. And they gave the name Bhaktula Vallam. That means a flood of devotees. So it's very, very special. Similarly, if you go to Satyaloka, it is very special because you go to Pernambet and you climb up the mountain. And then after you climb up the mountain, you go to Vikota, then you come down. It's a valley. Satyaloka is a valley on top of a mountain with a peculiar kind of vastu. That's where the phenomenon began. For some purposes, that has the maximum power. For some purposes, Ekam has the maximum power. Then Nattam. For some purposes, Nattam has the maximum power. Could simply knock you into total silence. Unbelievable silence once you got up to a point. We are not yet activated that. You would be soon doing that. Once it is done, you would know what silence is. That's Nattam. And then we have Kalki Illam, a very special place where most of the teachings which are given to you, they emerged there, those teachings. And it is now been open to the public. More and more the people are coming in, and soon you see the full power of Kalki Illam, what all it would give you. Right now we are not telling you anything. Later on we want to tell you. Then we have Nemam, again a very, very special place. So there was a young boy many years ago who had become a Swami, and the British at that time used to run buses from Chennai to Nemam, where he used to give water in you can take water from your home, just like you bring now also. And then he would touch it and give it to you, and you would get healed. Later on, the crowds became too many, and that man disappeared. Not much is known about him, he just disappeared. So it has got a tremendous background for healing. And for some other purpose, I won't tell you now. And then, of course, there's another place yet. We are not yet opened it to the public. That will be opened maybe by end of this year. And then there is Sangam. This is again a very, very special place, which has not yet been opened to the public. For very special purposes, for those, especially for those who want to get married, or those who are very modern and very advanced, who do not want to get married, but want to have a life partner for them. So all those things will happen then. More of it we'll reveal later. So totally we have 7 places. Anything can happen anywhere, but these 7 places are special for 7 different things to help people. The whole objective is to help people, and in 7 different ways, what they need actually, depending on their age. So we'll tell you all about that later. At least 2 centers are not yet open to the public. So that will be open by the end of this year.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Next question, Bhagavan. Dear Sri Bhagavan, how does the M&M class help us?
See, this M&M class, if you are preparing this 81,000 people, we are working on you from what I am talking to you and from the process. We are working on you. Now, essentially, we are working on your 7 koshas. We have 7 koshas in the Dharma. So ours is different from what is normally there. The first kosha is the Annamaya kosha. We have to work on the body, but without telling much about that, we're silently working on the body because otherwise you could become obsessed with it. So some things are better not told. So without telling we are working on your Annamaya kosha. Then we are working on your Pranamaya kosha. The way you are breathing is not all right. But here we are not talking about breathing. We are talking about prana, which is in a way linked to breathing. So the Pranamaya kosha must be set right. So we are working on that. And after that, we are working on your Manonmaya kosha, where we are removing those some of those FCDs and wrong inputs which have gone into you. That's quite a tough job. So we are working on that, on your Manonmaya kosha. Then, of course, we have got our Karmamaya kosha. All of you are carrying loads and loads of karma. It is, we say your past life. As you know, our Dharma, there is no your past life. Not that you are there, because you yourself are not there. But then, what you are carrying, so many lives. For example, one Western man, a Swedish gentleman, we were making him go slowly. Some people used to come and stay here for months together and get a lot of time to work on them. We used to go step by step on him. So for a few days he said, I am Pontius the Pilate. Pontius Pilate was the one who gave the orders for Christ to be crucified. He said, I am that. So accordingly we are working on him. Then later he said, I am the Roman soldier who put the spear into Christ. Then we would again work on him. And afterwards he said, I am the soldier who whipped Christ. He seems to be one man who whipped and also put the spear in him. We worked on that. Then finally he said, I am Christ. I am the Christ who died on the cross. So we would again do some work on him. So then we had to tell them clearly how these are vasanas which are there in the Akashic records, which vasanas have flown through him. Christ Vasana is a very good man also. He also had a vicious tongue. He had a bad mouth and he would write also very viciously. That was because he was also Pontius Pilate who was giving those nasty orders. And then he was also a chap who could be violent. And a big man, 6 foot plus, very, very strong Swedish gentleman. No? He could be very, very violent and generally had contempt for Indians. So we could see how where that was coming from. But however, finally, he became a very sweet gentleman and enlightened too. So this load of karma you are carrying, how many lives? So we have to work on that. So Karmamaya kosha comes in there. Then, of course, Vijnanamaya kosha. There are a lot of things which you must know. Either you must be innocent, but not ignorant. Ignorance means you have a lot of nonsense in your head. Such a huge rubbish, such quantities of rubbish is there in you, gathered in this lifetime. So we have to clear it up using Vijnanamaya kosha. And that especially, I have read a lot of books. Window shopping is very heavy and contradictory teachings, full of such terrible nonsense where you are not able to move an inch. So that is Vijnanamaya kosha. Then we move on to Anandamaya kosha. Jnanamaya kosha. Now we can go on telling you The fire is very hot, it will burn you. That's one thing. But you actually put your hand into the fire, you get the heat. You know what exactly that is. Now, this is called gnosis in English, direct experience. Now I'm telling you, you and the tree are one. Actually make you experience the fact that you and the tree are one. Actually make you experience that you and the frog are one. Actually make you experience you and your wife are one. So, that is Jnanamaya Kosha. Now, having done all this, at the core of your being is nothing but tremendous joy and tremendous love. Comes under Anandamaya Kosha. So, you're slowly working on these things. Anything when you move too fast, there'll be a disruption. So, little by little, step by step, you're working on you. Added to this are the other programs like what happened in Neom, what happens in Sakti Loka, the supporting programs. So on the whole, you're using many things to make you grow. Grow in what? Grow in your consciousness. Now, how do we know you're grown? Depending on your ananda and your love. And of course, your gratitude is there. Oneness is, all those factors are there. And of course, in today, we'll be transferring you the power, whereby you'll be able to transfer ananda as well as love, as well as oneness, all in one blow to the person you want to give. So we'll be stepping up all these things, and especially we'll be working a bit on your bodies, whereby we are getting better prepared to accommodate a high level of consciousness. If you are a nonja in Tamil, that word, or what is a puntadiki pailwan, or so weak, then we cannot download much. You see, some amount of strength must be in the body. It must be all right. Suppose you're dying from cancer tomorrow. Now we can't download a high level of consciousness. So we are slowly working on that. That also would be done today. So in the M&M class, we are working on all these fronts. We don't tell you everything. There's too much of anticipation on you, or there's too much resistance. Therefore, it is not good to give all the knowledge when you're not well developed. Knowledge, when not acted upon, could become dangerous. Best, some things are not given out. At the right time, you must give. Maybe in the group, or maybe individually, or in small groups, you could give it. Not generally like this. And also, I request, please do not record these things and post them on the YouTube. So it may not have that good effect on the others. And if it is going to cause them some harm, all that bad karma will come to you. Because here we are going in a peculiar way. This is not to be posted there. And I'm sharing with you certain things which should not be shared outside. What I speak about calamity should not be spoken outside. But you're posting many things out. Extracts of it. You're a team, you're a group. You're a special group. So please do not do such things. Yes.
Thank you, Bhagavan. Bhagavan, last question, Bhagavan. Padapranam Sri Shri Bhagavan, can you please guide us, the youth, on how to make decisions for our career and personal life with the help of Shri Amma Bhagavan? In these rapidly changing times, we are baffled with the multitude of choices and scenarios for every decision. Thank you so much, dear Shri Bhagavan.
I don't get the question. Would you repeat it?
Yes, Bhagavan. Can you please guide us, the youth, on how to make decisions for our career and personal life with the help of Shri Amma Bhagavan? In these rapidly changing times, we are baffled with the multitude of choices and scenarios for every decision. Thank you very much, Shri Bhagavan.
For that to happen, we would be stepping up the brain power program. Please attend the brain power program, whereby will actually enhance your mental capabilities and you'll be able to get clarity very fast.
Bhagavan, may I read greetings and gratitude letters sent by the group, Bhagavan? Father Pranams are beloved Shri Amma Bhagavan. Our hearty 75th birthday wishes to the Almighty. We are abundantly blessed to live with you, hear your voice, listen to your words, and be able to wish you. There was one dream for many Alvars and Nayanmars for which they did a lot of tapas, asking the Lord for the same. But here, we are the most fortunate group to be blessed with that boon to walk and talk with the Ishtadevata. Thank you and happy birthday, our beloved Almighty Father. As we celebrate another year, it is the most important milestone for us, the proud devotees. Yes, it is the dream come true moment, the transfer of state. Now we realize the in-depth meaning of man cannot make it on his own, it has to be given. We had a lot of dreams of how difficult it would be and how we are gone achieve it. With real inner integrity, we thought we would never achieve that. But as always, it was given as a gift to us by you, the omnipresent Amma Bhagavan, and very happy birthday. Soma, the elixir of life. We now realize the in-depth meaning of to set man free totally and unconditionally. Soma is one blessing that cures everything physically and mentally. All of us have experience of Soma entering us and solving relationships and solving the unexpected and even the unknown. How thoughtful of you, Lord. You know us in and out and our limitations. We realize how much you love us and how compassionate you are in giving us the easiest solution to the most complicated us. Love you, Lords, or Almighty. We love you beyond the universe and back. Many happy returns of the day, our omniscient Lord.
చేస్తే 24 hours అవుతావా?
Our favorite part, the Antaryam in Bhagavan, the step up in power has made our personal God so powerful and so real. Life is simplified with Antaryam in Lord. The connection is so vivid that we don't even think. It is happening automatically. Thank you, Lord. We love you, Lords. Happy birthday, our Heavenly Father. The monthly regeneration and retreat is all that we ask for. We devotees are eagerly waiting for this day to reminiscence ourselves and see you, our lovely Lord. Most of us become one with you during Darshan and simply admire. You are Lord. This energy recharge is all we ask for. The blessing you
అయిపోయిందా? పెట్టు పాప వస్తుందేమో
నాది
20 days.
మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ 17th మార్చ్కి ఉంటుంది.
నువ్వు యూట్యూబ్లో పెట్టినావు కదా భగవాన్ వీడియోలు,
చలో
అవి ప్రైవేట్ చేసుకోవాలి పాప.
ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటుంది మళ్ళీ
ప్రైవేట్
చేయాలి మరి అవన్నీ ప్రైవేట్ చేయాలి. డౌన్లోడ్ యశ్రాజ్, యశ్రాజ్